Okay, so let's start with our ingredients. Here I have about 100 grams of reconstituted dried shiitake mushrooms. This is what the bag looks like. You can buy this big bag, 200 grams, at Landmark for 218 pesos. So what you do with that is you soak it in hot water for about 30 minutes to an hour, and then rinse it and then squeeze out all the extra water so that you'll have soft mushrooms. And then we'll need about 6 cloves of garlic, and then a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar, half a cup of cocoa sugar, and then 2 tablespoons of Spanish paprika. You can add more, especially if you don't have any liquid smoke lying around. So we'll be using about 1 teaspoon to 1.5 teaspoons of liquid smoke. So if you can't find this, I bought this at Landmark. If you can't find this, you can just add more paprika. And then about half a teaspoon or a teaspoon of salt. Okay, so first up, we need to run the mushrooms and the garlic in our food processor. I have a mini food processor. It's easier if you have a big one. Or you can use a blender, but make sure it's not, it doesn't turn into mush. Okay, so this is going to be really full. Remember, this is about 100 grams. Okay, so set the mushrooms aside. Now what we're going to do is put in our cocoa sugar, our Spanish paprika, and then our teaspoon of salt. Half a teaspoon of salt. Okay, and then you mix that up. Okay, so the day after, I just finished my workout. And I just took this out of the fridge, transferred it to a smaller bowl, and this is what it looks like. So now what we're gonna do is we are gonna shape them into little longanisas. So maybe take about a spoonful and just roll them. I can't really roll them properly because I have a boo-boo. So it depends on what your preference is. What you can do, since if it's your first time making these things, experiment with the size and maybe fry a couple first. That's what it looks like. Do a few. So as I was saying, fry a couple first. See if you like it crunchier or you like it thicker or whatever. And then just stick to the size that you prefer. Let me do the rest and then I'll show you what it looks like when you're frying them. Okay, so now I have my pan And I have a little bit of vegetable oil, so we'll need some oil for this to fry. Not a lot. So wait for that to heat up. So one thing you'll need to know about this, because it doesn't have like eggs or whatever other binders we use, and we used flax eggs. There's a tendency for it to break apart, so you have to be very careful when you're cooking them, and make sure they're bound together when you put them in the oil. So while that's heating up, I have another plate here with some napkins to absorb the oil. Okay, so it's hot enough. So it really is up to you. Since we're cooking mushrooms, I mean, you only need a little bit of cooking time for it to actually be edible. Not like with pork or beef or whatever. So it's really up to you if you want it to be a little on the burnt side, if that's how you want your longganisa to be, or if you want it a little more chewy, then you can leave it on the pan for a shorter period of time. Personally, I like my longganisa, my vegan longganisa, more on the burnt side, but not too burnt. So you're gonna have a bit of these like little bits and pieces that are falling apart. That's good, don't throw those out. Those are still gonna be very, very yummy. So like what I said earlier, what you can do is you can fry a couple pieces first, time it, see how much time you like your longanisas to cook, and then use that as your benchmark. What that looks like. It's cooking, it's almost done. You see those specks of garlic? So good! Okay, so that's what it looks like. It just looks like your normal longganisa, right? Sorry, that was Oliver meowing. And that's it. The vegan longganisa. Let me just finish cooking the rest of it. Bon appetit!